Hi, I'm Jefferson Murwa, and we welcome you to the ISSF Skipper Workshops for Seine. Today we're going to be talking about best practices and ways to reduce bycatch in tuna Seine. I'll be joined by Dr. Martin Hall and David Itano. At the moment there is some criticism of fad fishing, and there's been some campaigns which are trying to limit or prohibit the use of fads in tuna Seine fishing. They think that fishing with free school or pole and line is more sustainable. We know that Seine fishing with fads produces a small percentage of bycatch, approximately 2%. But even so, we have to do our best to reduce that and have the most sustainable fishery possible. One way to increase the sustainability of the fishery is, for example, trying to obtain certification for that fishery. This certification, what it does, it audits a fishery and it makes sure that it's up to certain standards where bycatch is low and all the regulations are complied with. And it's a way forward to increase the sustainability of fisheries, which is not only in tuna fisheries these days, but across all fisheries in the world. ISSF, which was founded in 2009, is one of a kind in the tuna industry or the tuna fishery, in terms of uniting for the first time industry, renowned scientists, and environmental groups such as WWF. The members of ISSF move more than 75% of all the volume of canned tuna in the world, and it's the concerns of industry, scientists, and conservation groups to improve the standards and the sustainability of the fishery that created this foundation. ISSF objective is to increase the sustainability of the tuna stocks and the ecosystem that surrounds it, and utilizing the best available science to try to study and research the best options for the fishery. ISSF has shown a commitment to improve the rules and management of the different commissions, and also is trying to promote that tuna fisheries reach the standards required for certification without conditions. One of the initiatives that ISSF is using at the moment is the Proactive Vessel Register. This is essentially a database where buyers and markets can go and check which boats are doing the best available practices. In this database, boats subscribe and they show what commitments they're taking and doing at the moment, and this can prize those boats that are doing the best fishing in the tuna fishery. If you go and access the PVR database, you'll see the name of the boat, where it's been flagged, if it's got a unique identifying number, if it's doing and is respecting all the regulations from the commission where it's fishing, and also it's doing other kinds of practices like having observers on board, retaining tuna, and for the purpose of this workshop is also see if the skippers that are in charge of those boats have received education or have participated in bycatch reduction workshops as the one we are showing today. Another way to increase transparency is to have observers on board. Observers can record information and verify that the practices that are being done are correct and there's little bycatch. And one thing that is happening these days in the last few years is that we're moving from person observers to electronic observers in some fisheries. And these electronic monitoring systems have been tested and funded by ISSF campaigns, and we're seeing that maybe in the future there'll be more widespread. Electronic monitoring systems can show exactly what's happened during the fishing operation, where the boat is located, and much more information that is useful to scientists. In this next slide, we're showing the ISSF database for all the Tuna Commission regulations. This is an excellent source if you want to learn about different regulations in your ocean. You can check online and you'll have all the information organized and readily available for you. The purpose of the ISSF skipper workshops is to interact with fishers and try to get their feedback, because we know fishermen are the real experts in fishing technology and they have thousands of hours of experience at sea. This is something that most scientists don't have at hand, and the purpose of doing these workshops is to learn from skippers and try to interact to find best available practices. So the way the skipper workshops done in person work is scientists propose ideas to reduce bycatch and things they have tested before and work. Skippers learn about the things that have worked and give feedback on the experiments that will be done in the future to test bycatch mitigation measures. This is a very practical way of doing things because it gives skippers the chance to voice their concerns and give us their feedback on what they think, and also for scientists to not waste valuable time and resources trying things that you've told us might not work at sea. One thing with the tuna fisheries is they're global. They spread all around the world. All the equatorial line of the world is an area of fishing for tuna. And this is why the ISSF skipper workshops have been targeted to go to the principal ports, tuna ports, and the most important tuna fleets in the world. And since 2009, we've been doing workshops all around the world. We've had more than 600 skippers from fleets that come from Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, and South America. It's very important for us to learn the differences between the different fleets. One thing that's important in these workshops is that we are able to characterize the fleets, what kinds of boats they use, what kind of practices, what's possible to try and test in their boats and what not. This feedback is very important for these workshops, and also when we come up with solutions, we want to make them tailor-suited to each fleet, so they're really going to work in your fishery. These are examples of different boats. We can see Spanish, Asian, Indonesian, American boats. There are many different types of boats, and we want to learn about the equipment that each one uses.